Good afternoon. This is GM 4200. Getting ready to replace the clutch, fan clutch, sorry. Try to do it the easiest way possible. And I think the easiest way is probably going to be removing the upper radiator hose, just to be able to allow for more room. You have to remove, you technically don't have to remove this. You can do this without doing all that. You have two 10mm screws here and there. I've already gotten this one loosened up, getting all my tools and stuff lined up together here. It's a loose bolt. I'm gonna set everything back in the back there just so it's out of the way. Currently waiting on the parts to get here and the tool to be able to hold the water pump. I'm not using the one that they recommend for this. I don't even know what it is. It doesn't look like something that I could use, so I'm getting one that's got the two little bars that go down and clamp around the two bolts, and then you break this right here loose. The fan's got a mind of its own. It's going back that way or that way. Anyways, the reason why I'm replacing this thing is it says when scanning it that it has a performance issue. It's in performance mode. I don't understand why it's still moving either. I've already stopped moving it. But it's also making a clicking noise, which is my indication that it's definitely bad. I thought that was my part. Anyways, we're going to come back in here. These are 13mm bolts, and they're not exactly the easiest to get loose because they have crush washers. They're not crush washers, but lock washers. Make sure you don't drop them. Pretty sure this is already aftermarket anyways. I think they're supposed to be a flange bolt. So the factory water pump, the factory fan clutch, this gap right here, let's get on down in there a little bit more. This gap is about 3/4 of an inch, and the fact that this one's much closer means that it's been changed out with something aftermarket. So we're gonna go back with the aftermarket, naturally. The factory replacement stuff is really expensive, and you know this the 4200 needs all the money saved as possible, since it's the American version of the 2JZ. This is going to be a little time consuming. Anywho, I'm going to go ahead and get these bolts off and show you the next step afterwards. Alright, well, she wasn't on there tight at all, so it's loose currently. We're going to run it back around to where this bolt is on top and finish getting this off of there, and then take this fan shroud and the fan and push it onto the water pump. Oh, your hand's in the way. No, it's not. There's the water pump.
Let's get through the doorway first.
Alright, last bolt. This is aftermarket too, because the other aftermarket one looks identical. So either someone failed to put it together properly, or it failed on its own. which is very possible, but unlikely. And disconnect our electrical connector here. And the fact that my hands don't have any kind of strength due to being sick for the past 3.5 weeks, we're going to use some persuasion. Stuff the harness and go down. Will you just cooperate? Hold on. Alright, I got my phone in one hand and the clutch in the other. So you have to spin the back side of the clutch in order to get this off of there. And you're spinning that counterclockwise. So whenever we get ready to pull it up out of there, you got to make sure you don't damage the coolant fans of the radiator, which already looks like someone did that. Now let's see if I can do this and not ruin anything and still be able to kind of record. No, I don't think that's gonna happen. We'll set it right here. My hands are almost too big to be doing this. We're nearly there. Alright, so these two parts are the exact same part number. This one, of course, you can see has been heat treated multiple times. I'd say it's bad. Unless, of course, this one does the same thing. It's got a different noise. It's still spinning. Let's go put her back together. Alright, it's a bit of a pain in the butt to get wormed through here, but it's in there and the fan is bolted to it. It's not tight yet, but it's allowing me to be able to turn it on there and spin it in. You want to make sure to get your electrical connector connected over here before putting the fan in place, because it goes behind the fan, in between the fan shroud. All right, nearly there. All right, now we're going to tighten the fan up and then tighten the clutch up. All right, we've got the new clutch installed. We're going to call it a clutch because it's technically not a clutch fan, because this is the fan and that's the clutch. We didn't replace the fan. We only replaced the clutch. Now you want to make sure to look over the previous mechanic's misses. It had this off, this off. There's also a plug down in here. I don't know where it came from. It looks like a horn plug, but the horn's already plugged in right here. I had people ask me in the past about changing the alternator on these, how I did it in 30 minutes. Well, that bracket right there is the bracket you take off, and then you have full access to everything pretty much. You got 2 bolts in the front. This bracket comes off, and then you have your bolts running in sideways here. You can take your battery box and stuff out of the way to make it a little bit easier on you, but it's not necessary. That right there goes to the light right here. That probably doesn't work. So we're gonna go ahead and start this thing up and see if we have any more squeaky, squeaky, clicky, clicky. That's not the engine. sounds like it's doing its job. It's slowing down. Definitely a lot slower than the previous one was. Actually feels like it's running better too. That could be because that's actually sealed up. Now once this thing gets hot, you shouldn't be able to stop this fan at all. I'm kind of scared to put my finger on it. You got a couple sharp edges there. Well, it's already slowing itself down. That's good. That's perfect. Now, once this engine's warmed up, that thing should be so hard to move that it'll burn the rag the rest of the way up. I just burned it a little bit, holding on to it. Oh, I thought it was the radiator fan rattling. The whole front end's rattling. GM 2JZ, gotta love them. If you found this video helpful at all, please like, subscribe. I'll try to put out more videos. Hopefully I'm not sick anymore after this upcoming week. I'm gonna start recording everything that I do. And thanks for watching.